There's always something on Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn or somewhere that's not here. At any rate, come find me. I wanted to talk a little bit about monetizing your energy, what that means. You've been hearing me talk about my work, my value, and I wanted to talk about this whole concept of monetizing your energy and what it means. When we're all over the place and we're not really looking at our energy fields and how we really show up in our aura, then we can have trouble and we can be draining and losing our energy. And so it is very important to help us understand who we are and what we're doing. So I wanted to share a little bit of information. I did some polls. I took a quiz out there. I put a quiz out there. And I was really very surprised. The whole idea of monetizing our energy is all about stopping the energy drains. And I had no idea what this meant so many years ago. I was losing my power, losing my energy. I was in bad relationships. Thought I was in love. I admit I was, but it was killing my soul. And I didn't really understand this until I started working with energy and working with Reiki and understanding we all have the ability to work with our energy system, our energy fields, and own the energy that we show up with. So many times we say we're so busy, we're so busy, we're so busy to stop. But really, what I have noticed, when we come in and ground our energy and work with ourselves, then we can ground that energy. We can show up stronger than who we are. So as we go to stop these energy drains and really understand our energy, we can follow our path, live our life, and really bring more circumstances into who we are. So take a deep inhale. I think I've got all the streams but Instagram. I'll repost. Exhale. And just feel into that for a moment, just as you breathe. Call your energy into you. Notice how that can help you. As we allow ourselves to center, to feel that connection deep in our soul, deep in the spirit, our human spirit of who we are. We call in the emotional body, the mental body, the physical body, and we align all the way up and down our bodies. Then we show up. So I wanted to share some of my experiences. I wanted to share some of my client results because I think results is the main thing here. And I wanted to share some of the results from the quiz. Really surprised. Last year I put the quiz out and the highest ranking thing was people pleasing. Now, I think there's a lot of people talking about it now, so yay. Especially as women, we need to learn this. So yay, that was not the highest on the quiz this time. We had the people pleaser, the martyr, the saboteur, the wandering soul, and I will add under earner. That's a big energy drain I've been working with as well, helping people understand. But the number one thing this year, this season, was the wandering soul. Can you relate to that? Do you feel like you're all over the place? And maybe you don't call it your soul. Maybe you just think like, oh, I can't focus. I can't sit down. I can't be still. I hear this all the time. I can't do yoga because I can't sit still. I can't meditate because I can't sit still. I know the feeling. I have a lot going on. And sometimes it's like, got to hurry up and get there. I got to hurry. No. And I pull myself right back. Take some more breaths. Realign. Go through that a few minutes. And then again, oh, I got to go do this. I got to go do this. That's the wandering energy. The inability to focus. There's so much information in the world right now. There's so many things going on in this new season that starts tomorrow. Today is the last day of summer, right? But really, it's training your ability to notice your energy to come back into the center. Then you can focus. Then you can show up. I know the feeling of a wandering soul. I've been saying, gosh, I don't know my purpose anymore. I help my parents. Now my kids are married. What am I doing? Where am I? And I did a lot of soul searching. And sometimes it takes a while. We do have to do soul searching, but we keep coming back. And now I feel the strength of my soul. And it showed me so much. It gave me so much more compassion for other people that are wandering. Instead of just do it. We can do that, right? Just do it. Why can't you do it? No, I understand. It can be hard. But when we continually use our tools, learn some energy modalities like Reiki. Reiki to me is the easiest modality to practice on yourself. It will teach you about your energy fields because monetizing your energy is all about understanding your energy fields. So I had a client. She loved her job. I'll call her KR, not to use any names here. This work is sacred. But she would show up for work every Monday, loved her job. She worked at Southern Living, food, recipes, and every Monday her boss would come in and dump all of her bitchiness, her complaining, everything on this client of mine. She's like, I love my job, but I got to get out of there. It's making me sick. Like, okay, let's wait a minute. Let's start to recognize your energy. So let's learn some energy tools. And so she did. She listened. And not only did she listen, she practiced it. That's the key right there. So she began to pull her energy in. She began to do some psychic protection all around her. And sure enough, her boss stopped coming into her office, started going into other people's offices. And then guess what? Because she wasn't getting that satisfaction from this KR, my client, she would go to others. Other people started reporting her. And eventually she got fired. My client got to keep her job, loves it. Loves it. She's amazing at what she does. Many people would give up. Many people would then suffer, get sick, leave their job. No, you can learn to work with your energy. And those energy fields are so important. So learning how to ground is something I can teach you. And it is a practice. It is a practicing every day. But the thing is we don't save it for our meditation or just for at home. We learn to bring it out into the universe. And we learn to every day, when you feel off, come back. Come back to losing your energy, to using your energy, not losing it. That's what we don't want to do, to using your energy so you can show up strong. And we want to understand our aura. We want to understand our energy fields. We really do. So when you know how to process your energy, you do make stronger agreements, especially with yourself. So I know many people, especially us sensitive, us empath people like me, I know I'm super sensitive, and I was pulling everything in from my marriage, pulling it in. He was doing what we call transference, where they transfer the energy and then all of a sudden you think it's all your fault. Oh, maybe it was. You start doubting yourself and you take in more. How many of you have done that? So with my very first teacher, this is where it first started. She started saying, Tara, just push his energy out when he leaves. I started doing it. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I did know it worked. He would leave, I'd push it out, and then I wasn't like, oh my gosh, maybe it was me and all that chatter of the mind. Do you do that? That's another way of learning how to use your energy. And that was a direct example for myself. I'm like, yeah, there's something to this. It's working. It is working. And I started learning more and started studying teaching and started studying with like even pranic healing, working in the energy fields. A lot of what I do is teaching you how to work in your energy field, to recognize your empath abilities. These are gifts, but if we don't understand it, we can send a penalty of it. We have to have energy boundaries. And if you have trouble, like I did, holding boundaries, energy boundaries, they're fun, they're amusing, and they really do work. Yes, it takes a little bit of amusement. And I won't kid you, maybe you think, oh, this is just woo. Hey, we're all full of something, right? Might as well be full of woo. It will help you, but I will say, neuroscience, quantum physics is backing up everything that we as spiritualists talk about. They are showing that there is a connection between our self, consciousness, our energy fields. You can learn to do this. You really can. So it is important. And not being too busy to learn it and be there present for your own spirit is so amazing. It becomes superpowers that we can use. So when you start to recognize this in your energy field, you start to recognize, oh, wait, she's the one that's not feeling so good. She's the one that's angry. She's the one that's insecure. Whereas if you don't, and you just take it in, you think it's you. You think you're a little insecure, you're a little upset, we don't want that to happen. No, we want to be stronger and really recognize you can use the information that you bring into your energy field when you have energy boundaries. That is how you monetize your energy. Because how can you draw good contracts with you, good business practices with you if you're the one that's taking it in and feeling less than who you are? It's like my HR client. All right, SK, she came in. Everybody loved to go into her office every morning, just dump all their stuff. She's HR. She thought it was her responsibility. I'm supposed to listen to their problems. Okay, maybe listen, but we don't want to pull it in. She's like, I am just drained. I'm starting to have problems with my health. It's harder and harder to show up. I'm tireder and tighter. I can't even deal with my family by the end of the day. Does that one sound familiar? So she started working with me, and again, practicing these tools. She had a little vested interest, right? She's like, well, if I don't listen, I'm like, no, you can listen. Doesn't mean you don't take it in. She was afraid people would stop liking her. People pleasing. There's that people pleasing. I have to listen, have to take it in. But we don't. We can listen, we can do our job, but we can also send the energy out and not pull it in. These are energy boundaries. These are the things I teach. We work with the different energy layers. I teach you tools, different energy fields for different things, different ways of really kind of protecting. We keep the heart open. We want to have compassion and love, but we learn to work with our energy fields. So it is very important that we start understanding this, right? We have other energy drains, right? That under-earner I was talking about. We give all of our work away for free. We don't charge. Oh, sure, take it. I am that's why I learned about this one, because it's like, oh, it's for the higher good. Oh, I'm a spiritualist. Just give it to everybody. What does that say about the value I put on my work? Do you do this? The value I put on my work is so great that no, I have to stop this. That's a big energy drain too. So when I recognize I have value in my work, yes, I want to be compensated. The more work I do, the more compensation I get, the more I can help and serve. That's another huge energy drain. I see this all the time. This is the healer's imprint, the shaman imprint, as my teachers taught me. So we have to break that imprint. I help you with that. We want to break it. We want to recognize what karma is holding you back from that. We look at that too, and we can break that as well. We can do this. We don't have to suffer all the time. I get very enthused, very excited to talk about this. All right, I had another client, GC. She had created so much in her life, and then she had an accident, hurt her back, really suffering. It was like just standing on the sidewalk, got hit by a car. So she was working through yoga and trying to feel better and trying to do things. She started working with me. And she started recognizing she had these problems with her energy field. She had an ex-husband who she thought was still her responsibility to take care of. He had done some bad stuff out in the world, right? No judgment, his karma, right? But she thought it was her karma, her responsibility. Once we started cutting these cords and learning how to work with her energy, she started recognizing, no, I'm done. Little by little, kept building that force of energy that kept recognizing when it was coming in so she could let it go. And I will say, results are amazing. She has a whole new life now, a new marriage, amazing man that's come into her life. So we can use it in our personal relationships, and we can use it in our business relationships to monetize your energy. For her, it was about monetizing her love and her relationships. For other people, it might be about monetizing the energy, the contracts you bring in. For others, it's like even family. I had another client, KS. She was very sensitive to her family. She was a sensitive one. She was kind of the one, I would say, and I did this in my family very early, that would like kind of process the energy in the family. But it was overwhelming. And she had a mixed family, 2 families coming in, so a lot of kids. And she would like not want to hide, not want to show up. She would want to hide and not show up during the holidays, especially. I worked with her around the holidays. And so she started to learn how to work with her energy fields to protect her so she could show up, because then she'd get in trouble if she wasn't showing up. So very important that we begin to learn these tools that can help us monetize the way in which we show up. Monetize is a big word, but it is all about amplifying, really working in that abundant field of energy. Abundance isn't always money. It can be, depending on where you are. You can use this in your work. The agreements you set with yourselves are the agreements you set with other people. So when you have this agreement, no, I'm not going to let people drain my energy. No, I'm not going to give away my work. No, I'm not going to be the dumping ground, right? Then we can show up strong and happy and really monetize our work, our purpose. It does begin with grounding, with centering, with feeling that energy field around you. Using the empathic skills and intuition. Your intuition will grow stronger. Lots of times what happens when we are intuitive and empathic, and we do all this like letting go of our boundaries, and a lot of empaths don't know how to set their boundaries, our intuition becomes not strong. We feel a little unstable, like I don't trust it. I know I have it, but I don't trust it. I know it's there, but I don't really believe all those hits, and I doubt every single one. I hear this all the time. This work can help you learn your hell yes, tighten up your energy fields, and trust the work that you put out there. And again, I'm going to come back to first and foremost, it is the agreement you make with yourselves. I am going to show up for me. I am going to find ways I can be strong in who I am. Very important. So if this is of interest to you, my program begins in October. And if you've watched this, DM me on any of the medias or reach out, terryannhyman@gmail.com or my website. I have a code, a special code I will give you. Discount off the program. It starts October 1st. We'll work with your energy. There's group options, VIP options. I want to share my teachings. I know they are valuable, and I know there aren't many people teaching the way I teach. We can't just think it. We can't just absorb it in our mind, right? David Hawkins teaches us the mind can't discern the truth. So we have to learn to drop and ground our spirit, the greater spirit, deep into our hearts. This is where we ground, feel strong in who we are and how we show up. So I offer these teachings to you, bringing that value to you so that you can in turn bring the value out into the world for what you do, attracting the abundance, the money, the love, the connection with Source into your life. This is where we are in humanity right now, this big old eclipse, transition of energies. All of this is about awakening to that part with us, raising our consciousness, opening up to that part that's kind of missing. We can't just keep zooming around, looking out there. It's all within you. Let me help you open up these gifts. So just take a nice deep inhale and exhale, grounding in your heart, feeling that connection. And again, if you've listened and you want more information, reach out. I would love to share this teaching with you. To your spirit, namaste.